Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, the author of this little book right here, these little books, where you can get all that down in that description. So go down, fiddle about, check it out. And as always, I'm going to start off thankful because I truly am thankful for everybody here, for all the opportunities. Just did an awesome interview with Lacey. Really had a fucking blast. He's an amazing podcaster, a document filmmaker and stuff out of St. Louis. As soon as I get the details when it's coming out, I'll post it here. You guys know I will, because it was a blast. I mean, I'm having so much fun doing these interviews, laughing, just really enjoying the people and feeling so welcomed and so heard. So thank you guys for that. And thank you everybody here for helping me be heard by being part of this channel, by sharing, by talking about it, just everything you guys do, by coming on, whatever it is that you contribute, because we all contribute something. You all contribute something here. It really, truly does mean the world to me. So thank you guys so much. Just never can tell you how much I love you guys. And today we are going to get on a little wild ride of a subject, because we're going to kind of be breaking the law here today. Not me. Well, I am banned from Ohio, and there was that thing in Seattle. But anyway... Just kidding. No, I'm not. But we're going to be talking about, because we had a little incident here in Salt Lake City not too long ago, few weeks ago, that people are getting all fucked up and misconstrued. So we're going to talk a little bit about rock stars who broke the law today. And today we're just, it's Sunday, it's mellow. I'm just going to have a little bit of Bailey's. Well, McCormick's, because it's my favorite. But we're going to turn it a little bit spicy, because it's Sunday and who's fucking going anywhere? And this is actually made of French toast. So we're going to add a little bit of fireball. Now get that song out of your head. All right, everybody. Grab your fiery balls. Kick up your feet and let's have a little cocktails rocktails. Cheers, big ears. This is my favorite Sunday morning drink. I'm not going to lie. We make... Sunday breakfast. It's been a tradition in my family my whole life. You know, the big Sunday breakfast. You've already gotten everything you've done for Saturday, so every Sunday morning breakfast, this is the drink right here. And when you add the fireball into it, it's called a French toast. So perfect for brunch or breakfast. So don't feel guilty. Somebody made up that after 5 o'clock rule anyway. There was happy hour before that. And speaking of happy hour before that, sometimes rock stars have a little too much fun, and happy is not so much there during the hour or after the hour. But what kind of spurred this episode was I've never heard him before this, obscure country music singer, maybe I think he is, Todd Snider, who was here in Salt Lake City recently. And I've seen a lot of misconstrued, because again, get some Google, bitches. You know, I hate it when people are in the comments going, the hospital was so horrible, they should never released him. Well, sweet peas, they didn't. Let me tell you the story, because one of my friends, my neighbor, works at that hospital, and that little Todd Snider left a couple scratches and a couple bruises on her. So we're going to get to why. So, and then we're going to get into other rock stars that have been arrested, because there's some goodies. And I'm not talking, you know, the old school ones. We've heard of Jim Morrison and all that. But anywho, so with Todd Snider here in Salt Lake City, they were staring at, I believe, the Monaco downtown. And at the Monaco, you can set 2 buses, and then there's an actual UTA bus stop right in front of it. So it's on the side of the hotel. The front of the hotel is right here, where the parking and the valet and everything is. And then there's a back of the hotel. It takes up a half a city block. And where the buses were parked, there's a side entrance you could use if you have your hotel key. There's the bar, and there's the restaurant. And it's just a wall of windows in this old, you know, kind of regal building downtown. So you can see everything that's happening right there in those buses. There are people sitting right by those windows at the restaurant, at the bar. There's people coming and going out the side. There are cameras everywhere across the street. There's American Towers. There's the Capitol Theater where the ballet and the symphony and stuff happen. So this is a busy downtown place. And, you know, there are going to be few sketchy people. It's relatively a safe place. Everywhere there's going to be sketchy people that people claim are sketchy that aren't sketchy. And use that word claim. So anyway, Todd Snider says he came off his tour bus or went on his tour bus, and someone came on and just started beating the crap out of him. He had glass on his head and had a gash on his head. Now, if somebody was beating the crap out of you, you would have had more than a gash with glass, which was, there was some in the broken tour bus, so they don't know if he was drinking or if it was because he was sick or whatever. Just the other band members came on the bus and found him with a gash and glass in his head. So they take him to the hospital, to Holy Cross Hospital, where my neighbor works, where also I know the emergency room doctor, because he stitched me up one time when I was working for the DABC, and I was using a box cutter, just sliced my finger. And I happened to be 2 blocks away from the hospital from Holy Cross, so I took my thumb, running, holding it up the 2 blocks to the hospital, because I didn't want to deal with parking. But anyway, so like I said, I know the emergency room doc who's there. I don't know if he was the one on shift. I just, my neighbor was. So he gets there and they're doing tests on him and they're trying to clean it up and get things done with his gash and everything. And they're trying to ask him. And he called the cops saying, I was attacked. Somebody came on my tour bus and they beat the shit out of me. Fucking attacked. Right? So there's no evidence of that attack, for starters. None whatsoever. Not from any of the cameras, the 100 cameras that are surrounding nobody who saw him going on and off the tour bus, who were sitting at the bar, which some of the band members were sitting at the bar, some of the crew, normal place, we're at the hotel bar. So no, absolutely no evidence, no defense wounds, or, like this, nothing like this, no fighting back wounds, just this one gash on his head where he had probably most likely fallen in the tour bus and broke something with his head, because they found broken glass in the tour bus. So anyway, so they're at the hospital. They can't find you. The story keeps conflicting. They're like, well, we need to, you're not looking good. You feel like shit. We need to make sure you're okay. We need to do these tests. He started throwing a fit, screaming, just absolutely, fuck no, you're not fucking keeping me here. You fucking this and fuck, and threatening to kick their asses or unalive them. And this is where those ladies, it's always the 70s fucking ladies who think they're so elderly righteous. We're elders, so we're wiser. No, you're fucking not. You don't do your research. Again, Google. Because they were like, the hospital shouldn't let him go. The hospital didn't let them go. He was arrested at the hospital for threatening and for physical attacks on the staff, including my neighbor. So he was arrested at the hospital, and the person who got him out was his tour manager. Now, the tour manager has an obligation to the record company and to the grind. So he put Todd Snider on that tour bus and took his ass back to Nashville. Had nothing to do with the hospital staff. The hospital staff wanted to keep him. He was combative. He threatened them. He attacked. He was arrested. The tour manager took him, and sadly, he passed away of pneumonia, which they were trying to keep him for, and he didn't want to stay there. They knew he was sick, and they're like, yeah, dude, you're not going on stage. You shouldn't be going anywhere. You don't need to get back on that bus. You've got this. We're not releasing you. But he fought them. So he was arrested, and sadly, it's really sad that he died, because had he stayed in the hospital, maybe he wouldn't have, and everything would have been okay. And maybe he was delirious from the fever or something and thought he got attacked, and he had just passed out and was having fever hallucinations, because there is absolutely 100% no one. Just the other band members going in and out of the bus. And the time he said he was attacked, no one was there. There was just no one going on that bus. He was not out of that bus. He didn't come off the bus until the gash was already there. So, yeah, the hospital didn't release him. The tour manager got him out of jail and took him back to Nashville rather than taking him back to the hospital up the street, which they should have done. So it's sad. It's sad that, this person died because he was in such a sick state. I don't know if he had been doing drugs or if there was alcohol. That part was not known. That part has not been released because they did take the blood tests and stuff there. And it's kind of a closed investigation, but active investigation, so they don't know. So that's the real story. That's everything that happened with Todd Snider in Salt Lake City. But other rock stars did bad things in other cities. I mean, I've been to jail. And let me tell you about one of them. Oh my God. No, not one of the times I've been to jail. I went to jail because in Seattle, the law said you couldn't grind, and I grinded, and it was all dropped, and nothing was done late. Nothing was done about anything. It was deja vu, and their lawyers fought it for all of us, and they were like, "You can't tell us what to do or charge. We're independent contractors." So, yeah, that was the time I was in jail, and my friend Kelly and I got out and went to the Irish pub, the haunted pub down in Pioneer Square in Seattle, and had French toast and Baileys. So that's why. But okay, so there was a time, and this is a story told by Be Real. And it was in High Times magazine once upon a time, and somebody might have been there. So there was a bodyguard that had worked for Cypress way back then. I don't know if he's still around or not. Somehow had ties with a bunch of FBI guys. I think he was a former FBI agent turned bodyguard, not a bad kid, either of them. But so, yeah, and so there's some sort of FBI, like they've got field offices all over, and he knows the guys in this city. It was in Chicago. And after the show, what do we all do? We get on the bus, pour us a fucking drink, have a drink. And when you're with Cypress Hill, you got the blunts and you got Mother Mary, the 6-foot-tall bong, right? So they're all there. Everybody's sitting on the bus after the show. I was not in the bus, somewhere else. So they're in the bus, and all of a sudden and I just walked off the bus because I think I was going to grab something in the club, in the arena, whatever we were at. And I just got off the bus, and I kind of looked over, I see these guys, and I just keep walking, and all of a sudden, all those guys, Be Real, everybody, Nate, everybody's just sitting on that fucking bus. And all these FBI guys come piling onto that bus. Just freeze! Everybody's got just trying to, nobody can move because you're in a tour bus. Where are you going to go? They're not me. They can't do the upside down tour bus trick and just whoop, do a little Wonder Woman out the fucking top, So they all get handcuffed, get pulled outside the bus by all these FBI guys, and then their bodyguard guy just comes over and starts laughing his ass off, just fucking laughing because he had set it up, and it was just a joke. Nobody got charged with anything. Bunch of FBI guys got on the bus and smoked a bunch of weed. That's where I came back, and I was like, "Oh, interesting. What's happening here?" So that's basically what happened with Cypress Hill. It was a phony bust, and it was kind of funny that the FBI was there, and here they are. Weed wasn't legal yet, and yet they were just like, "Oh, it's Cypress Hill," Back in the days when you could get away with stuff. I mean, it's not like, with Metallica, with Lars and his cocaine and the cops knocking on the door and didn't do a damn thing. But sometimes they do things. Ask David Lee Roth, because let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. David Lee Roth, dumb. I think it was in the middle of the day. It was at Washington Square Park, where I have been, and I have been there at like 3 o'clock in the morning after being out clubbing and going back to one of the typo guys' apartments, while we were in New York City and stuff, because we wanted to smoke and drink afterwards. But, so David Lee Roth was in Washington Square Park buying weed. During the day. Fucker, you don't buy it during the day. You get your slippers on, get your jammies, put on your little robe, and go there around midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. I know people think I'm crazy, but you're walking in that fucking place at 2 o'clock in the morning by weed. Ain't nobody gonna bother you. They think you're crazy. They don't bother crazy. So let's see. What does it say? So it's April 16th, 1993. He was busted in the midst of procuring a nickel bag of weed. And the most shocking part, the whole incident was not that the once and future Van Halen Frenchman liked to smoke weed, but he would make the rookie mistake to score some Jamaican bunk reefer in a touristy, cop-heavy police like Washington. But I told you he was doing it in the day. Had he done it after midnight, it would have been all right. So, David Lee, I hope you learned your lesson and bought your weed after midnight. Let's see, who do we have? ODB. Oh, dirty bastard. So, let's see, he He had a lot of issues, old dirty bastard, but he was really talented. It's sad that we lost him too soon. So, still, it's hard not to laugh at the absurdity of October 28, 2000, when a month after the rapper had skipped on a court-mandated rehab stint, he was busted in the drive-thru of a Philly McDonald's. The one time the On the Lam rapper, oh, he was on the lam. That's why. Oh, so you go through a McDonald's? Dude, I knew fucking Tom Cruise came through my Burger King in high school. Seriously, and I'm not even kidding. I think he was here filming something, and it was Tom Cruise, and I was like, what the fuck? It really was. It really fucking was. We looked at the security footage over and over, and it was. Anyway, but everybody's gonna recognize you in a fucking McDonald's. I mean, ask Luigi. Fuck, didn't learn your lesson. Stay out of a fucking McDonald's, man. If you commit a crime, don't go to Mickey D's and get yourself a fish Sammy's. All right. So and he had also caused a stir in New York City, where he was recognized and subsequently arrested while he was at a record release party after showing up at the McDonald's. So he was signing autographs in the fast food parking lot, and then the officer's son was a big ODB fan, so yep. Don't know what he ordered at the drive-thru though, but don't fucking go to McDonald's and then start signing autographs, dude. Come on now. Go to Burger King. Nobody ever fucking noticed. Nobody ever had a Burger King. They have better fries anyway, and I like their veggie burgers. And then, oh yeah, Uncle Willie. Uncle Willie is not afraid of jail. That man, he'll be OR'd out. Everybody loves Uncle Willie. He's played movies where he was in jail. He sung about being in jail. Ain't nothing scared him, right? So when he was pulled over on September 18th my little thingy's over here. His tour bus was pulled over in Louisiana for a routine. It was just at one of those state line thingies where, the tour buses and the what do you call them? The semis have to pull over and be inspected. So they were pulling it over, which, I mean, somebody had to, it's Willie, we're going to get him. They had to have not liked Willie. Like, who doesn't like Uncle Willie? So, and they found like a pound of weed, pound and a half, which I'm thinking, the tour must have been close to over, because that probably started out as a 10-pound bag, Fuck no, dude. A pound and a half of Willie, that's like this big. And nobody cares. And 3 ounces of shrooms. Oh, Willie. Not on the bus, dude. Oh, I did acid in a hotel room once. Couldn't handle that. With LA Guns, we were throwing Chinese stars at the walls. Another time we bought a hotel room. It was good times. Worth every penny. But yeah, so he had the shrooms and the marijuana. And all I'm going to do is say this. To the person that discovered it and didn't slyly just pop it back into the suitcase. Fuck you, dude. That's Willie Nelson. And like, shocker, he's got weed and mushrooms. Big deal. Why you hate Uncle Willie so bad? What'd your mama do in your life that made you that mean? But okay. So, though half a pound is probably how much Willie smokes in a week. So it would have been enough to put him away for felony distribution, it says. But since there were 4 others on the bus that also claimed to own the drugs, he got away with a misdemeanor. Because, everybody on that bus, and you know what? Right on you for Willie's band and everybody else and tour manager, whoever else was on the bus. Fuck yeah, you guys aren't letting your Uncle Willie go down. You are not letting that American icon. I mean, he is music. He is everybody. He is the righteous. We love Willie. And, I hope the guy that didn't just tuck that back and just forget it. It's Willie Nelson. It's a pound. It's nothing, So he made headlines again in 2010 with an on-bus pop bus in Texas, leading one to wonder why Willie even bothers touring the South at all. And again, charges were dropped because it's Willie. In Texas, they're like, oh, yeah, we're not doing this. So even in Texas is going to do that. Okay, we know about Paul McCartney. Let's see. Oh, yeah. What's this one? Okay, Keith Moon. One of the greatest drummers in rock history. He was always legendary for his epic swath of destruction, it says. All right, so August 23rd, 1967, when he was arrested after celebrating his 21st birthday. It really was only his 20th, but Keith wanted to be able to have a drink with a food fight in Flint, Michigan, which was quite odd because my family was, my dad's side of the family, and my family was living there at the time. So, so they would have been, they would have heard about this. So they were at the Holiday Inn that escalated into the full-scale mayhem. Rooms were being trashed, as you do when you're Keith Moon and it's your birthday. I mean, we trashed rooms in the 80s. It was fucking blast. It was a blast. You haven't lived until you've bought a hotel room. And when I say that, you haven't trashed a hotel room and paid for the damage. So the rooms were trashed, the toilets exploded, fire extinguishers set off, and a Lincoln Continental was rolled into the swimming pool with a naked Moon behind the wheel. Why were you naked? Well, it's Keith Moon. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't have on a corset and stockings, but naked, okay, that's just too normal for Keith Moon. So yeah, but again, the Who paid they bought the hotel basically for $24,000. Charges dropped, moved on your way. And they were banned from all the Holiday Inns. Let's see, who else do they have? Ooh, Chris Robinson. When was he arrested? So the Black Crowes needed a legal remedy after being arrested for an incident in the Denver area 7-Eleven. In 91, Robinson was in the midst of buying beer when a female customer noticed his long-limbed presence. "There's the singer of the Black Crowes," she excitedly informed her friend, who was innocent enough to reply, "Who are the Black Crowes?" That's it. Ooh, okay. See, I would have thought here that this would have been, we think it's going to be for weed, right? Like Chris Robinson couldn't get anything in Denver, but they were probably, in 91, yeah, had already been in Salt Lake City and they had weed from here, so they didn't need it in Denver. So that was enough to sent him into a fucking frenzy. After berating the second woman for her eating habits, she was purchasing Twinkies. Oh, dude, no. Chris, you fucker. No. So he fucking shamed her for buying Twinkies. The singer spit on her and stormed out with the 2 cases of beer, which she would been too consumed with, so he didn't pay for it. But he received 6 months probation and $53 fine. Which, dude, you know what? He should have had 6 months of probation where he had eaten nothing but Twinkies. Motherfucker, that's just mean. You know, if you're the lead singer of the Black Crowes. You're going to get that attention wherever you go. So, okay, who else do we have? Johnny Cash. Ooh, Foxy Brown. She gorgeous. Look at her, Foxy Brown. Look at her. She looked gorgeous there. So, August 27, 2004, Foxy Brown entered a New York City nail salon for mani-pedi. When the salon forgot to make good on the manicure but charged her $20 for both services anyway, Brown proceeded to seriously go upside the head of the salon's manager, then socked another of the establishment's employees with her cell phone when they tried to prevent her from leaving. Bitch, really? Seriously? Did you have to do that? Because, come on, now 20 extra bucks, but in 2004, that's a steal. I was paying $50 for mani and pedi back then. You know, each one. Now it's like $75 each, plus your nails, plus. So you ended up $200. So I would have just paid the extra $20, but she didn't pay the extra $20. She chose violence. She did. Girl, you're too pretty and classy for that shit. She was sentenced to 3 years probation and anger management classes over the incidents, which eventually, thanks to the violation of said probation, turned into a year in jail. Oh, she didn't take them. So, in 2011, she was kicked off a Royal Caribbean cruise after throwing a crazed tantrum over, you guessed it, a manicure. Oh, wow. Well, maybe she was, especially with what's going on with the cruise now, the cheerleader and her stepbrother. Foxy Brown, lucky she was tossed off that fucking cruise. So, no love lost there, right? You were safer not on the cruise. Don't go on cruises, people. They're just bad things. So, but that's, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. That's just your ego. And when you're in the rock life and you're getting away with it, like everybody knows about the night I put the bow in James Hetfield's hair and he was dancing around like the Cowardly Lion. And we had a noise complaint, so the cops were called, and yeah, they saw the coke and our tits and everything. you used to, not the cops were a lot more lenient back then, when sometimes they shouldn't be. Who's this? Travis McCoy, Trey Songz. Oh, DMX. Let's see. Oh, Frank Zappa. I didn't know Frank Zappa was arrested. Oh, no. Here's one from our era. Let's do our era. So, Yngwie Malmstein. Oh, my God. Like, if I die and go to hell, it's going to be an Yngwie Malmstein concert. Not even kidding. Last time I saw him, he was so coked up, and he just kept playing the same solo for like an hour while his fucking wife screamed at him from the side of the stage. So that was fun. And I'm sure this was. So August of 1993, a SWAT team was sent to Miami Shores, Florida home of Yngwie Malmstein after Elaine Potter, the mother of his then 19-year-old girlfriend, oh, I can't say anything about that, Amber Landon, accused the Swedish guitar god of holding her daughter hostage while equipped with a small arsenal and firearms. Oh, wow, that doesn't shock me after that story I just told you. I wonder if it's the same woman. Okay. And your kid and her daughter? Seriously? Dude. Again, don't do coke, people. What the fuck is wrong with some of you people? She also claimed Malmstein pointed a shotgun at her and threatened her life. Okay, yeah, after hearing, we all knew back then he was a little, what are those white t-shirts used to be called? Wife beater? Yeah. So, we all knew that the Yngwie was abusive. That was no secret back then, which is another reason why I never gave a fuck about hanging out with him. And another reason why, yeah, I don't like watching him on stage. He's just a coke-up mess of anger. So, and that after a 4.5-hour standoff, Malmstein surrendered and was ushered out of the house by police, wearing only sunglasses and a bathrobe open to his stomach. Oh, how rock and roll of him. Of course he had to go out like that. And now it kind of pisses me off because he was jailed on a $7,500 bond, but that's about as far as things went. Landon, who later became his wife, so it was her, gave a statement to the police denying she had been held against her, so she chose not to press charges. Which explains why, as the bathrobed Malmstein was being cuffed and carted off, the Associated Press quoted him saying, "I have no idea what's up." He did it. In the comments, yeah, I believe an incident happened, but how many times? So I wonder if it was the same woman I saw back in Vegas around 2002 that was still married to him. Wendy, we'll do 2 more and we'll be done. Wendy O. Williams, we love Wendy. She was so gorgeous. She was such a sweetheart. She was only like that rough and tumble crazy chick on stage, off stage, like she loved animals and she was just one of the sweetest, most shyest people. So January 1981, Plasmatics Provocateur. Oh, I like that word for her. Wendy O. Williams. Do we even need to say her last name? When we say Wendy O, we know. Was arrested after a gig at Milwaukee's Palms nightclub for simulating with a sledgehammer. What's so weird about I mean, we can all imagine, the handle was used, she probably got a little friendly mouth with the hammer, with the handle, and I doubt Wendy. I mean, she pushed limits, but she didn't go. You could get splinters. She was not that stupid. So I mean, but things were going around like I was one of the reasons I was banned from Ohio from dancing because I had a giant blow up male appendage because I was doing the Jackal song because she loves my hawk, and so you have a giant blow up when you're a stripper. Because it's fun and you can write it. And it looks so cute. Anyway, but that was only the beginning of her problems. A scuffle broke out during the post-show arrest, resulting in Williams and her manager Rod Swenson receiving a beating at the hands of police. What? Oh, man. I mean, I could see her not wanting to go because that's bullshit. I mean, that's Jim Morrison started all this, down in Florida. That was the first one. And now they were still doing it in 1981? I mean, come on, get over it. So, Williams earned an additional count of battery, but photos taken of the assault led to all charges against her being ultimately dropped. So good. I'm glad they were dropped because it sounded like, punk rockers were hated by the cops then. Cops hated the punk rockers. I hung out at the Speedway where there were a couple scuffles there. And then when we turned up after hitchhiking in the backseat of a cop car for suicidal tendencies, people thought we were narcs. Like, no, we weren't. We were just hitchhiking. So, and then so they were dropped, and that allowed her to carry on practicing her particular brand of performance art. Just days later, Williams was nabbed in Cleveland again for simulating the same things, only this time while wearing a bra made of nothing but shaving cream. So where was she the first time? Milwaukee. So yeah, she was banned from Ohio too. So that's kind of cool. I'm in the same class as Wendy O Williams. We both punk rock bitches. Okay. Oh, Wes Scanlon was Flava Flav. Who else do we have? Oh, not that douchebag. Gigi Allen. Oh, Izzy Stradlin. Here we go. Suppose you're on an airplane cruising at and people have heard about this one. Cruising at 30,000 miles above ground and you really need to use the bathroom and they're all occupied. What do you do? If your former Guns N' Roses guitarist Izzy Stradlin caught somewhere between Indianapolis and Los Angeles he must have been home visiting, with a few too many Bacardis and Cokes in your system, you declare, I'm not waiting in long. Oh no, you don't just pee there in the galley. Dude, you gotta sit on that plane with that smell. Why you do that to yourself and everybody else? Seriously. That nasty. I would have arrested him too. I would have done a citizen's arrest because, dude, I gotta smell that shit. Literally. So, August 27th, 1989, he was verbally abusing the stewardesses and lighting up cigarettes in a non-smoking section. So, dude, he was just, again, this is all rock star ego and alcohol. Like, the management pats you on the back and says, anything you like. Anything, like the Princess Bride. Whatever or what is it? He says, put it down in the description. I forgot. As you wish. There we go. So, yeah. And the Guns N' Roses publicist tries to, instead of saying, you know what, he was drunk and fucked up, he's going to rehab. She's like, relieving himself was just a way of expressing himself. Who wouldn't? It was peeing in the galley. That was gross. All right, who else do we have? We know about Marilyn. We know about that. We know about George Michael heard in the bathroom around the world. Well, you know what? Let's leave it at that because I think that, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Tell me about other rock star incidences that got arrested that we don't know about down in those comments. There's been a few where the cops showed up, like I said. With Metallica, those cops were knocking on the door. There was cocaine on the nightstand. Nobody gave a shit. When we were fucking doing acid and throwing Chinese stars at the wall of that hotel room, cops knocked on the door and they fucking played with us. So for rock stars to kind of get arrested back then, especially what Wendy O went through, that was extreme. They had a specific hate for punk rock back then. That was for sure. So yeah, that's how there's a few rock star arrests, with the most recent one that sadly ended up with somebody passing away because he should have stayed in the hospital, but chose to fight his way out and get arrested. So tell me what you guys think of the more arrests that were shocking that I might not have mentioned down in that description. So tell me all about it. And as always, thank you guys so much for just getting to the end of the episode, to just hanging out with me and really appreciating me. I don't get that every day in my life. I don't think any of us do. So when we have it in other places, it's just so it means everything. It really does. It's so appreciated. So thank you guys. And if you're just hanging out and stumbling on me, join the family. We got a killer family here. We really do. We've got amazing people. I mean, I love everybody that I'm meeting here. I love everybody that has been here from the beginning. I'm just so lucky to get to know everybody that I've got to know. So, but like I said, if you're just wandering on, hit that subscribe, hit the share, hit my bells, and we'll see you next time on Cocktails and Rocktails. Cheers, my dears.